Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your Devops SRE DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNCs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and Neuralink. Now, how do we apply for this? So how can you reach out to us? So you have a WhatsApp number and email ID. So please reach out to us and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you.
Okay. In the left-hand side, the agent to the web server. So the always traffic initiated from the agent. That's the meaning, right?
Yeah. So both the way traffic can be possible, both the way.
Okay.
So the deployment model can be push and pull based also. So that is.
And Rajesh, when you say that web server, is it configured CDRO, 2 web servers or 1 web server, the different user accessing the diagram?
Okay.
What it says.
So here what is happening? When you install it, they have an inbuilt web server actually. Okay. So this web server, I'll put it in this way. If you want to set up everything, then let's say everything in one machine. So that is one scenario, which is a simple one. But let's say for the large deployment, if you want to set it up every component different places, then this is the good architecture to understand that which can be isolated. So here you can isolate the web server separate, application server separate, database separate, and web server always will hit to the agent which will manage the workspace, and workspace attached to the multiple agent, and so on. So like this.
Okay. So suppose I have 3 teams. The CDRO server is same.
Yeah.
But 3 teams, can I provide 3 web servers, different web servers? Is it possible, or only one web server is accessible to CDRO?
No, architecture in a distributed way, you can set up a web server separately for different teams for high availability. In fact, your database also, it's not complicated picture right now. Database also multiple, it can be the this also you can set up a multiple. So here you create a clusters of database. This you create a clusters of app server, and this you create a clusters of web server, and so on. But this is for the large deployment. For the learning purpose, we are doing that this one only, small one.
Okay.
So you can see that here in the clustered configurations, what will happen? One of the web servers will be out of the firewall, and that can be possible. So separate clustering is possible. So local configurations, clustered configurations. Okay, so now there is one more component which will help you to in terms of auditing, analytics, and reporting. That is called CloudBees Analytics. So CloudBees Analytics again, which is attached to the CloudBees CDRO, and this will use almost I think 4th day and 5th day for analyzing all the builds, environment, all the deployments, and all these things which you have done it. Okay, so if you want to go into the detail of architecture, this URL will help you so if you want to create a distributed environments, this will help you to how to separate set up the distributed environment and all. Okay, so next one is some of the terminology which we use in the Cloudbees. So for any questions, all of you?
Are you going to cover that cluster part, or I mean, see, we have configured different ways. How this works, cluster configuration? Are
Yeah.
you going to in
So
detail, or
yes. So right now, my focus next 2 to 3 days is on to functionality. So once we get comfortable with the functionality, then we will talk about the different distributed approach. I mean, sorry, setup approach, a deployment approach for the Cloudbees CDRO also, and so and those environment will set up in the Kubernetes environment. That will be easier for us.
But challenge is, Rajesh, for a cluster, you have external database. Internal database, you cannot establish a cluster.
Yes, and for that we have a licensing issues also. So that is also problem. I'll help you to understand that complicated architecture also, which includes the every component of the architecture is in separate server, and which configuration required you to do that, what practices you need to bring you need to follow in order to set up all this stuff.
Malika, what we'll do is we will run through our infrastructure design and then let us understand what we miss.
yes,
Yeah.
I think we can take this.
Yeah, because with the local database, it's not going to work. So let's run how we have designed, and then we can learn from that what we missed. We will fill the gap.
Yes, Chandra. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Rajesh. You can continue, then we'll discuss in the next. Oh.
Yeah. So Cloudbees CDRO terminologies. So some of the terminologies which we use, I think more or less we understand this. Nothing great about it. Dashboard. We understand that. What is a dashboard? Top level multi-widgets view with related visualizations of interest. Several built-in dashboards are included and stuff like that. Widgets. So widgets dashboard is made from the widgets. Widgets like a small component which you can find on the dashboard. Widgets can be a different types of it for visualizations. Reports, yes, the definition of a set of results from which a widget is built contain the Elasticsearch report definition and stuff like that. Reporting object type, so there's a different types of reports which we have, which you can find on the Cloudbees analytics data platform. So we'll show you that one. Each object you have some attributes, some fields and stuff like that for visualizations. That is one. We call it ARA, applications release automations, a process that automates the deployment and release of applications to various environment. Now next one is pipeline. So pipeline, this is important. Pipeline stage and task and environment is important. So I must little bit of draw pictures here. So what is a pipeline? So pipeline definition, if you look at it, a sequence of stage that define the steps required to deploy and release an automation, and it includes task, condition, and approval. So here, let's understand in a simple way. This is pipeline. Here, so this is your pipeline, okay? And here the concept is very simple, okay? And the concept is you give something here, and then output should be like this, okay? So that is a concept. In short, if I say, if you give code, and you will come to know code is ready or not ready. I mean, ready for release or not release. Let's say you give the data, you will get reports. It will transform into the data. So same way in our context, release process, deployment process, you want to feed the packages, okay, and this packages been deployed to the production. That is a end goal. So in between, whatever we do, so if here we do step number one, whatever we do. So either sometime you call it a this the part here 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever this one you call it phases. Typically you can general terminology we call it phases, but in this session we call it a stage. Okay, in this stage. So stage you can call it stage. Now name you can give it in this and you can say integrations. Okay, you can or let's say you can say integration and then staging. Here you can say pre-prod stage and this is a prod. Okay, so here you have a 4 stage to do the deployment of one product and you deploy this product to integrations. Now in integration itself, you will do multiple steps. Step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20. So here you have a stage and these are the steps. Again, here in order to deploy this stage, you will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 steps. Okay, and then here also you do this. Correct now? So here this whole concept is called pipeline. Now in between the pipeline there is a two option can be there. One is delivery and one is deployment. So here when you want to do the delivery, this one, let me change the color. So when you want to do the delivery, this one will be completed and wait for approval. Here wait for approval. Here wait for approval after the completion. And if you say deployment, then no need to approval. This is completed successfully. Based on the output of this one, perform this one. Based on the output of this one, perform this one. Based on the output of this one, perform this one. And this whole concept is called pipeline. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here, if you look at this, here we have a pipeline, the one which I created, and have a multiple stages. And each stage you have a multiple task or items, or sometimes tasks, sometimes items, you can call it. So here, pipeline, a sequence of stages that define the steps required to deploy and release an application. It includes task, condition, and approval. Stages are specific phase or step within a pipeline. It represents a distinct part of the application release process, such as building, testing, deployment. Right now, because I'm talking about the CD part, CD and RO, so I did not discuss about the building, testing, and all directly pushing to the deployment. And then task, an individual unit of work within a stage. Within a stage, tasks represent action that need to be executed as part of the deployment process, such as running a script, copying files, and invoking external tools. So if you see that here, these are all the tasks. These all are tasks. Okay, so that is how. Now this will be deployed in certain environment, right? So this is the environment, multiple environment you can create. We'll start with the virtual environment, VMs, but slowly we'll migrate to the Kubernetes environment also. By the way, for my information, which environment you guys are using?
No, VMs.
VMs right now. Yeah. So this GitOps concept is very good for Kubernetes environment. Basically, CloudBees is being transformed into the becoming a GitOps platform. So Kubernetes also will do that. Okay. Now artifacts. What is artifacts? So I think more or less you understand maybe the package which you create after the CI process. If you remember the discussions, let me remind you. Here, if you see here, you package and archive, correct? An archive package, you create different types of packages. Machine image you create, or war file you create, or Docker image you create, whatever you want to, depends on the requirement. You keep it at one platform. So that platform, whichever the package which you are trying to deploy, that's called artifacts. So package and version of collections of code, configuration file, and other resources that constitute a release. Okay, so that is the artifacts. So what happens? What happens when you uh, deploy this whole stage to certain environment? That process we call it a release. Okay, and you can name this release to whatever the standard of your organizations accordingly. Okay, so release a specific version of application that is deployed, that is deployment to a target environment. So name it, you can 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, something like that. Release package, so the one which has been deployed. So bundle that include all necessary artifacts and configuration for deploying a specific version of applications, that's called release package. Now approval between the two phases, when you want to promote your release, then in between some manual or maybe automatic approval is required. For example, manual means some of you will act like a release manager, and then you will manually approve it, and then automatically deployment will start. That's a manual. Automated means, let's say code coverage. Just now I explained it to you. So you say, hey, if the, let's say testing is completed with the code coverage of 98%, 99%, then automatically deploy. If it is lesser than that, then wait for a manual approval. So between the phases, you can set up a manual approval. Are you comfortable with it, all of you? All of you?
Yeah.
Okay, release orchestrations, the process of coordinating and automating the various tasks, stages, and environment involved in deploying and releasing an applications, which is called orchestrations. So this is the terminologies which we use. Change management. So change management means the practice of tracking and managing changes to the application code, configuration, and other resources throughout the release process called change management. Change management typically you will do through the help of GitOps, but versioning also is supported in a CloudOps actually. CloudBees actually. So rollback, the process of reverting an application deployment to previous version in case of issues or failure is called rollback. Trigger, basically an event or condition that initiate the execution of pipeline or a specific stages. Parameters, a variable or value that can be passed to task, stage, or pipeline. So task means these are the task, stage, or whole pipeline. Okay, so that is called parameters, and dashboard you understand this. Integrations. So integrations means you want to integrate some other third-party tools to connect with the Cloudbees in order to do the smooth workflows. For example, CI integrations you want to do with the Jenkins, with Cloudbees CDRO, or maybe some other tools like Slack integrations or Teams integrations or something like that. So yeah, the process of connecting Cloudbees CDs with other tools and system in the software delivery ecosystem to enable seamless automation and communications. Now, release approval gate. Approval gate is a kind of gate which has certain conditions. If it is fulfilled, then it passes, else it will not pass it. So a point in the pipeline where manual or automated approvals are required before proceeding to the next stage. Version control, I think we discuss, and orchestrating plans, which includes a high level view of entire release process, including all stages, task approval, and dependencies. Any questions so far, guys, all of you?
Yes, the stage and the task, is there any dependency? If suppose, can you create a task without stage?
Can you create a task without stage? No, a task is a part of the stage. So task means, for example, let's say task is deploy to integration, that is your stage or phase, and the task will be copy this file, start this, install this application, start these services, run this script, run that script. So these are the tasks.
Okay. Okay. So okay, it is part of the stage. So I have to create stage, then create a task.
Yeah, so first you have to create your pipeline applications and then divide into the multiple stages, and each stages you put it a task, and in between if you want to put the approval, that's okay. And then after that click on the deploy. It will you have to set an environment and then it will start deploying.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, guys? Any other questions, guys? Okay, so what we have understood so far is like, first of all, what is CI, what is CD, why we are learning all these tools, right? And then after that, we had an understanding of the CloudBees as a company, and then CloudBees CDRO products. We also understand what is a CDRO product, why we need it, what are the features of it, some of the terminologies used, architecture, and some of the technology and development activities and versions and all. Now we are going to get into the installations and configuration. So first we'll get into the installations, and then after that we'll show you the demo, and then followed by we'll get into the configurations and so on. Okay, so can we start now, all of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so now guys, let's focus. CloudBees CDRO installation options. So guys, yes, you can install CloudBees in many ways. Okay, one of the ways is you can install in the Kubernetes. Yes, you can install in the Kubernetes, and this way we will do that also. Maybe tomorrow or third day we'll do that on this one also. Okay, how to install Kubernetes on all, because GitOps, for that you need a Kubernetes for sure. Traditional installations, that's like you're installing the VM, that I'll show you the demo today, and we'll use lab also, and we'll set up the projects using that. So there is a one way traditional UI traditional installations, that is like in Windows. Interactive command line traditional installations also there. Silent unattended traditional installations is also there. So these are the few options available by them. Okay, one of which is sufficient for now to get started and stuff like that. So we'll do the traditional installations in a VM virtual machine. I'll give you the VM virtual machine where it need to be installed, so don't worry about that. So now when you go for the installations, you have a two mode of it. Primarily in the, I'm talking about the VMs, virtual machine, traditional. So express one and advanced one. Okay. So express one, what will happen? Express one, everything will be, all the component, remember the front end, back end, and database will be installed in the one, and an agent also. Okay. Agent also, front end, back end, database, and agent, all this thing will install in the one server and in the fastest way. So this option install the CloudBees CDRO server built-in database, which is uh, what is that built-in database? I forgot that. What was the name of it?
MariaDB.
MariaDB, yes. So guys, MariaDB is, I mean, if you look at this, MariaDB has been used by all the demo base, I mean all the trial version of software anyways. So yes, so here built-in database, web server, a repository server on one machine. So this is what we will try today. The default CloudBees CDRO server settings are used. A local agent, that means agent will be also installed in the same machines, one local agent required for running jobs, and CloudBees CDRO tools are also installed in that. So yes, this is one which we'll try and learn all the functionality. After that, sometime maybe fourth day onwards, we'll get into the distributed setup. I think someone also has share with some of the notes, like they will share their own setup and then see how can we customize the environment and all kind of things. So that will come in the advanced server setup. So this option install individual component, directories and ports for your choice. Okay, so we'll not change the port for the sake of it, and directories also, but we can set up the distributed setup. That means all the component like web server, app server, database server, agent will be in different machines, so that way HA can be introduced actually. So this option is available via one or full installer files, and so on. Use this option to install any combination of your choice among the CloudBees CDRO server, built-in database, web server, repository servers, and all. A local agent, CloudBees RO tool are required and automatically installed. Okay, so that is the one thing. So now question is, what are the prerequisite for CDRO server installations and in the BM worlds? Okay, so just give me 2 seconds. I'll get some water. I need badly. Okay, so VM worlds. So here depends on the this all the knowledge is depends on the requirements. There's no one box is fitting for everything. Depends on the what kind of number of jobs you are running per day, how many number of pipelines you have in the each job, how many steps you have. So all this is depending on your requirement. So here this is just for getting an idea. For small to mid-range deployment where you have less than 1K job per day, running pipeline per day around 150K job steps, means each job will have a steps, so that will be done. So what is the job difference between job and step? I need to teach you, so just give me some time. Large deployment, we have a very large deployments we have. So again, depends on this. These are the recommendations given by CloudBees. So here 4 processor, 8 processors, 16 processors, and the RAM size you can look at it, and disk size also depends on the things. Okay, so now in terms of Kubernetes requirements, yes, inbuilt is a MariaDB, cluster capacity 8 GB, RAM with minimum 2 CPU, storage 30 GB and all. Now, if you want to go and install for production ready installations, you should look for this documentation for the Kubernetes specific one that has a more detail about all the specifications in detail.
For the Kubernetes, right, the agents is also a containers, or it can be a VM?
Both actually. You can make the agent as in a container, that's the image is available, and VM also you can make it.
Thank you.
So CDRO server installation prerequisite Kubernetes. So these are some of the numbers. I think you might not bother too much here now because you just want to learn first CDRO and then move on to some architecture informations and system requirements. So we'll go with some default setups, which I'll give you the machines for it. Now for the agent. Okay, so for the agent, what is the requirement? So yeah, minimum 1 CPU. I mean, every machine will have at least 1 CPU for sure. And JVM heap size per standalone agent, 16 MB and minimum, and recommended this one, 64 MB. JVM heap size when shared with other CloudBees components, we have a little bit of it, and 5 GB of hard disk. Okay, so now after installing, understanding the different installations options. Okay, different installations options. We have next one is licenses. Okay, So that is one of the problems which we have in this here, because trial license, they make it available for learning purpose, and that is what we will use it actually. But when you go for the enterprise setup for distributed based, and whereas every component is in a separate server, you need to have their license from their support team. Without that, it will not work the configurations. Okay, so I'll try from my side to get one license. I have already requested last week only, given a reminder a few times, so I'll keep updating you throughout these sessions. So if I get one license now, if you can get one license from your side also, if you are a vendor and all stuff like that, if you're official customer, so I think if you can apply for one trial license which can be used for the distributed setup, that would be also great actually. So they will give you the license files which I can apply and then get using that one. So if you have some POC people who can get such license, basically customers, they get it easily. If you are not a customers, then it's very difficult and challenging. So again, accordingly, we can plan for it. Okay, so basically there's a three types of license which they have: server license, enterprise license, and SDA license. Okay, so what is a server license? Are you able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, because I think I had some network glitches. I just saw that on the pop-up. Okay, so server license. So what is a server license? Server license allows you to use only built-in database. It is packaged with the server and it is automatically installed if no other license is present. And it restricts you to running two concurrent steps. Okay. So this is the restriction. It restricts you to running only two concurrent steps. That means when you want to run multiple steps in a job, in a stages, then concurrent job will not be running more than two. Enterprise license. An enterprise license allows you to use an external alternative database. You must apply an enterprise license key when you want to configure alternative database. Restrictions and entitlement may vary based on your license. Now this is where I am looking for some help, because I have applied 2 times and I'm yet to get the response. So if any, do we have anyone who can help me out? Are you guys are the customer of Cloudbees?
Yeah.
So if you can check it, probably it will save some of our effort, and demo can be more elaborative way, so something like that. And third type of license is the SDA license. An SDA license allows you to access Cloudbees analytics dashboard. Okay, if installed along with the server or enterprise license, and you also have access to entitlement those licenses provided. When I say access to entitlement, means they will specify as part of license only how many hosts you can add it as part of it. So those are the restrictions they will add it as part of the license, and then it will be applied to your server. Okay, so far so good, all of you, in terms of licensing part.
Yeah.
Okay, so in these sessions, we'll continue with the server license, which is everyone can get it for learning the CDRO product. Okay, so now next one is how the entitlements works. Cloudbees CDRO licenses entitlement, how it works. So there are two categories actually. Okay, so they are giving you based on the host license, or they're giving you based on the user license. Okay, that means in a simple way, if I say, you will say, hey, I want to deploy my product in 100 servers. So it's become a host license. But if you say, hey, don't give me the host license, but give me that through the user license, that means this many people will be using it. Okay, so both the entitlement, you can apply for it, and again some discussion has to happen between the support and your accounting team. What is the requirement and how can you minimize the cost, this, that, and all this thing. Right now we'll not get into that, but here it is. So registered hosts are dedicated hosts on which a procedure or step can always run. Okay, so this license control the number of unique registered host name, the max registered host license file property value set the maximum number of hosts that can be recorded in a database. Okay, that means license is hard coded with the number of maximum host, and more than the host which is hard coded in the license will not be stored in the database. That is what is exactly the problem is. Whether those hosts are in a default zone behind a gateway or are at a proxy host, they will count towards this total. The local host name and then IP address represent the local agent installed on the Cloudbees itself, so that will not be counted as a host. So they are a part of the total count of the host in use with registered host license. Whereas registered user license, this license allows registered user to be created up to the license limit. So again, how you take it up that at the org level, this need to be discussed in detail, but yeah, these are the two models available and you can apply for this. Any questions so far, all of you?
Clear, yeah.
Okay, so once you have a CDCRO, how do we import the license? So you have to go to the administration section, configuration licenses, and there you can import it. I'll show you that once we have up and running, and you can also view that one on your home page and under the resources. Okay, so these are the things I discussed. Okay, so now we have a demo that is install CDRO in Windows and so on. So yeah, that will do that after this. So any questions so far, all of you? Can you see that, all of you, my screen?
Yes, Rajesh.
Okay, so this will be your assignment plus for certification, internal certifications. This will be answer will be used, and assignment if I think there will be some improvement required, so I'll comment it also. So an assignment will be given, let's say uh, this is assignment. Okay, for example, what age? I'll share with you assignment in few minutes. I'm just dummying out. So what is DevOps, for example? Okay, so now you need to submit a response, or maybe I will say write a code response. Okay, or maybe I'll say write a code to deploy. Write a code to deploy Tomcat example. Okay, so you'll have to give me the response. So how you submit this assignment? So you see the create post, all of you.
Yes, yes.
Click on it.
Yes.
Okay, and here you will give your question answer, whatever you want to give in title. Okay, title whatever you want to give it. For example, why Rajesh? My name is Rajesh. Show here. Now here I am giving the assignment title. This you can heading, and if assignment is like this is assignment. Now this is a solution. Okay, and this you can make it heading, and now inside that it's a markdown editor. You must be comfortable with the markdown editor. So here this is the paragraph answer. You can add a code also. So here this is the code, and you can add also image also, and H1 italic bold and all, you understand that. You can see the preview here. See here, this is the title, this is the title, this is the heading, question, answer, code, and images also. If you want to publish and publish, I will get immediately the moment you publish, I'll get the notifications. So I'll start reviewing your answer. All of you understood this?
It's clear. It's almost like writing a blog post.
Correct. Yeah.
Or like Medium post. Yeah.
Yes. All of you, it's a markdown editor, so all of you will have to do the same. So this will be used for 3 to 4 purpose. Your notes will be with you only, so that means your name, your notes will be there. Second thing I will use for what to say, evaluation purpose. Third thing, if I find some improvement is there, I will comment it and you can improve it. Make sense, all of you?
Sure.
Sure, Rajesh.
Okay, so I'll share the assignment. Before that, let's have a lunch break. It's almost 5 o'clock. So we'll have a lunch break for 1 hour. And once you come back from, it's not a lunch break, I would say it's a long break. So 1 hour, and once you come back from the break, we will resume the session. So followed by after the break, we'll have a demo lab, and if you need questions and answer or something like that. Okay, any questions before we leaving for the break?
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.